This is when we find out this is the second time Christopher has an episode with us, and when
Mhm.
it's Rory and her debutante ball. Is it debutante or something else? It's a
Debutante.
ball. She's
Mhm.
coming out, and she needs her father, and she's coming out of a stupid closet, not a fun one like a gay one. So Christopher has to come in and help, and by help, I mean wear the correct clothing and walk down a set of stairs. Anyway, that's also the day that we learned that Christopher not only moved from California to just a couple of hours away from his daughter, he didn't tell them until that day, right? So they had to learn his new number, all of this stuff. Okay, so that has to do with this. And this is from Doug Walton. Further condemnation for Christopher. We started calling him Christopher, and he actually spells it that way. Love that spelling.
I love that spelling.
You don't have a disability.
Cwistapha. Christopher.
Christopher. When Lorelai
Christopher.
joins Rory at Luke's after getting brushed off, when she tried to kiss him and all that stuff, she finds out that Christopher had already told Rory about Sherry at some point, and then Doug barfs in emojis.
Barf emoji.
Now, so here's the thing. I understand that, and I think you said something like that also. After Lorelai learns that Christopher has not just a steady girlfriend, someone he fixes life for, quote unquote, let's see, whatever. But somebody that he's steady with, who lives with him, who he has a life with. And Rory knows. But it's like, don't we want Rory to know? Didn't they have to have a conversation and he's including her? Or is this like, I'm not sure why we're upset with Christopher for having told Rory about this.
Because he didn't give anyone his new phone number and he moved across the country.
That I'm upset by.
Do we assume
Yes.
that Rory knows that he lives in Boston and is with Sherry in Boston?
No, I think what we understood is because first of all, when Lorelai called, Rory wasn't like, "Oh, no, he has a new number, here it is." So they
Right.
both didn't
Right.
know,
Right.
right? But after spending the day with her father, he must have that day told Rory just a couple
Right.
of hours before
But he'd
Lorelai.
also been flirting with Lorelai because that's what they do. And like the last time they saw each other, they had sex on a balcony at her parents' house. I mean, it's
That's
pretty
true.
gross. So like
In the cold.
in the cold, oh, such a gross episode. Um, so one could assume that, now that he's picked up his life together, now that he has his life a little more together on a dime for another woman, that
Mhm.
he would be responsible enough to say, "Oh, I'm moving within a few hours of you. By the way, here's the back child support I never gave you."
I mean, if we
So
wanna
that keeps
be
coming up when, like, they need money, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh, Lorelai needs money. Doesn't he owe her, like, 42 grand?"
Yeah,
You know?
and also he has it. He has it, and I think that's why they keep showing him fail because I feel like what they're telling us is he is a trust fund kid, and so is everybody around Lorelai. She should be a trust fund kid. I don't know if they took away the trust because she ran away, but they were surrounded by these kids, and his businesses never work. He never keeps a job. So that sounds like someone's paying his way. So why isn't he paying child support? Why? Because we wouldn't have a show, and now
No,
we're
I know,
complaining
and we
about
need we
it.
need the plot thickens, but, like,
Yeah,
it's more Christopher, where, like, we're so
yeah,
proud of him for doing the bare minimum. He's not a good dad, he's not a good person. He showed up one day to do one thing, and, like, now he gets credit for being a good dad, and Lorelai gets to be wistful that he became the man she always wanted when she's not with him. Boo.
yeah,
He stinks.
yeah.